friend Meghan Flowers. She too is the mother of 3 kids, and like me, only one child has cystic fibrosis. I desperately want for her and the entire CF community the gift that you have given me. Meghan and I are the Oklahoma version of the people in the video you just saw. Please give a warm welcome to Meghan.
For introducing me this evening, and to tell you, Nicole, that I have had the wonderful opportunity to be able to share Capri's story with everyone that will listen, and to thank you, your family, and Capri for helping to advance the future of CF for Moss and everyone affected by CF. I am Meghan Flowers, but I would also like to introduce my husband, Marshall. He's not the speaker of the family. Stand up. Come on. I remember like yesterday finding out that I was pregnant with Moss. The joy of hearing his heartbeat and the excitement for Marshall and I to become parents for the first time. We discovered through pregnancy blood screening and testing that both my husband and I were carriers of the CF gene. We stayed positive, hoping for the best, but sort of preparing for the worst. Not that either one of us truly knew what that entailed. I remember that little bundle of love lying in the hospital, so innocent. We were speechless. What do you say about a little miracle? From that moment on, as a parent, you take on a role of wanting to always do the best you can for your children. Days later, I remember changing his diaper at our house with my mother-in-law and asking her if his stool was supposed to look like that. To her nurse credit, she just blinked and told me to have faith and wait on the results. A week later, we got a letter, 98% CF positive, but there was still that 2% chance. A sweat test was required for 100% confirmation. We leaned on hope. Later, as my mom, mother-in-law, and I walked into the hospital, I just remember it was like a twilight zone. I sat there watching the nurse and my mom perform a test on my 2-week-old baby. We lost that 2% chance. Moss had cystic fibrosis. An hour later, we were being directed to speak with a team of different people. What follows next was nothing short of a bad dream, an out-of-body experience that I was experiencing. I was watching it happen to someone else, but not me, not my child. We were told horrible things about dealing with life expectancies, medicines, things that he would never be able to do, extreme costs and limitations on even just normal activities that most children take for granted. I sat there holding my son and asking myself why. I felt like I had fallen into a deep pit. Finally, I had to excuse myself from the room. I shut the door behind myself and took a deep breath. My faith had been shaken. How could he have allowed this to happen to my son? I had a million questions, and all I wanted to do was scream. This was not in my life's plan. I must have walked that hall 100 times back and forth. Finally, I sat down on a bench outside and had an overwhelming sense of failure, loneliness, and terror come over me. I knew I could not do this. I just couldn't. I did not want to face the thought of losing my son because of a disease that we had given him. I didn't want to think about all the things that I was told he wasn't going to be or be able to do, because all I could see was a bright future. That day in the hall, my faith kicked in. I gave my life to the Father and decided from then on, every day, I would fight for my son's tomorrows. Because the very thing that we had been praying for was what we received, an amazing little boy. Today, my husband and I, along with a host of family and friends, have taken on our CF mission, Miracles for Moss. We all live and breathe CF every day. It isn't just Moss's fight, it's all of our fight. Almost 7 years later, that day in the hospital and my little son continue to shape who I am. Moss has become this amazing little boy who has given so much love, hope, and courage to those around him. He continues to overcome any challenge that he is faced with. Moss rarely complains about his medicine, his treatment, or his vest. He does not let CF define who he is. He is simply Moss. A first grader at Merritt Elementary, a big brother to his two sisters, Miley Grace and Maddie Faye, a son to parents who adore him, a best friend to Mason Kane, a true Oklahoma OU and Thunder fan, an ESPN fanatic, a Mimi and Grammys boy, a NASCAR fan, an avid reader. He has lost a total of 4 teeth, which was his part he added to the speech, a fishing buddy to his daddy and poppy, an unbelievable athlete, an artist, and a hero to some. With the help of an amazing doctor and amazing nurses and many friends and family members, Moss stays so healthy that people often tell us they would never know he had CF just by looking at him. This is by and far one of my greatest accomplishments and satisfactions as a mother. I promised I wouldn't cry, so you guys don't make me cry. Moss has told his daddy and I that he just wants to be great. We were told that Moss would most likely not compete in sports because of CF, might not be able to attend school, and to expect multiple hospitalizations. Moss continues to defy odds, scoring 8 touchdowns this season in flag football, 7 goals for his soccer team. He kept track too. His T-ball team was undefeated, and he went on to win the championship game in his age group. He ran his first 5K this year just because he wanted to, excels at school, and has not had to be hospitalized since he was an infant. But more importantly, Moss truly loves life. We think he's pretty great already. Today, Marshall and I realize how lucky we have been, and we don't take anything for granted. When Marshall and I are exhausted from raising 3 active children, one of us finds the strength to make sure Moss has done his breathing treatments and vest, to always make sure he's taken all of his medication and stay faithfully on top of his ever-growing diet. I have confidence that my son will outlive me, and no one could ever convince me otherwise. The changes in CF that have come just in the few short years since Moss's birth are nothing short of miracles. The life expectancy has increased by years. Daily treatments are becoming more advanced thanks to the foundation. Patient care becomes better every year, and the life-changing medicine to ensure tomorrows for my son are within an arm's reach. Moss has a plan. He said that when CF is gone, he wants to have a bracelet cutting party, where he gets to cut off Mommy's bracelets that I wear daily in honor of my son, as long as I don't cut off Aaron's. I will spend every day of my life fighting for my son if need be, but I am asking you to help me make that fight end sooner rather than later. We have come this far by private contribution, not government funding or big drug companies. The CF Foundation is a powerful grassroots organization that has a cure on the horizon. And personally, I would like nothing more than to call Celia and the girls and tell them that they no longer have a job. We are here tonight to make sure that Moss's life is only limited by his bedtime of 8:30, which Daddy kind of argues about, and having to be nice to 2 younger sisters. You have that power to make that a reality. Moss's favorite movie right now is The Lorax, and one of my favorite lines in it is this: Because unless someone like you cares a whole awful lot, nothing is going to get better. It's not. Now is the part of the evening where you have that chance to care a whole awful lot. You have the privilege and grand opportunity to add tomorrows to lives of great kids and great adults with CF by bidding for a cure. During this portion of the evening, you get to bid and make contributions that are fully tax deductible. You won't get a great trip or Thunder tickets, but what you will get back is your bid. For your bid is the unequal satisfaction you help change someone's future and the gratitude of one thankful mommy. On your table are white envelopes. I ask you to fill those out and give the most generous gift that you can give. All across the room, people who either have CF or love someone with CF have been asked to stand and help collect the envelopes you filled out. Help us cross the finish line and help us make CF stand for Cure Found. Thank you.